Hawkfanatic is brought to you by Deary Brothers Ford. Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. 1-800-800-ROSE and Hawkeye Courier. Supo's Building and Remodeling. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive. The Ox Yoke Inn in the Amanas. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes and Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, and Big Dog Tech Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in a long time, from Hawkfanatic.com, it's Pat Harty and the return of Tom Suter.
Is that like the return of the Mac?
Kind of.
Kind of like that?
Although the Mac comes every week, you would have gone almost a week and a half.
No, I was gone Monday till Monday.
Okay.
That is a week.
All right, fair enough.
Yes.
But you missed 4 Hawkfanatic shows.
Are you saying I wasn't fanatical enough?
Apparently not during your break.
Okay.
That's okay, though.
All right. So anyway, yeah, lots of basketball going on. Pat and I were just discussing briefly the Iowa-UCLA women's basketball game, which was a UCLA basketball game.
It was.
Yeah, boy, that was bleak.
It was, that's for sure. But the men play this morning at 11 o'clock, and they've got Maryland, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, did I put the wrong one up? Yes, I did. Hi, Pat.
Hello. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be the rubber match. Iowa won 84-63 back on December 6th, or was it 83-64? It was one of those two, and then they lost 77-70 in February back in College Park, and that was a game in which Iowa could not keep the Maryland guards, particularly Andre Mills, from penetrating to the basket. So it will be interesting to see what they're doing as far as help defense today to keep those guys, because, I mean, they led Oregon by as many as 24 points yesterday. They led from start to finish. Now, they let Oregon come back a few times, but they were clearly better than Oregon.
Yes.
And I didn't think that was going to be the case. I thought Oregon with the big guy. But I still think Iowa's going to win today, and maybe I'm just saying that because I'm sitting next to you. And but I just think Iowa overall is better. And Maryland still doesn't have Pharrell Payne. They've lost him all year, got hurt in the Iowa game. But the guy, they started big yesterday, and the one guy, Elijah Saunders, I think he made like 4 or 5 threes. You watch, he won't be able to hit one today.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think Iowa's a little better team, and I think this rubber match will kind of fit. But I could be wrong. I mean, would I be stunned if Iowa lost today? No. Not at all, no.
I just would like to see us, because we haven't had a lot of Big Ten tournament success. Like Fran did win one.
They've won one game, at least one game in 5 of the last 7, is the stat that Iowa gave. Now, if they win, they play Ohio State, right? If
Yes, yeah.
They can beat Ohio State. I mean, they already have. I mean, they convincingly. So, I mean, this is and all their games are at 11 o'clock, too.
I know.
It's weird.
It's,
Isn't that weird?
It's wild. And John Bonenkamp's over there covering it for Hawkfanatic, and I'll be doing stuff from home, too. Do we have a call?
No.
They bailed?
No patience
Karn,
whatsoever.
patience. Maybe that wasn't Karn.
No,
she usually
Karn-
waits.
Karn will wait.
Karn will wait. Oh, wait, we don't get Karn on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
'cause
she's in church.
Praying for the Hawks.
Well, hopefully they don't need prayers today, but it should be a good game.
Well, Dickie Coit, Darius Adams, and Andre Mills, those were the 3 that caused fits for Iowa. They combined for 54 in the loss, and Iowa just could not stay in front of them. And Dickie Coit, it's actually David Coit. I don't know why they call him. That's his nickname. He's had 2 games over 40 this year, and I think 4 over 30. He can explode points. He can explode. So I just think Iowa's a little better overall, and I just don't see them losing today. But again, I didn't think they would lose at Maryland. I certainly didn't think they would lose to Penn State at Penn State.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Karn.
I haven't gone to church yet.
Okay.
How come they couldn't put that game on Big Ten Network?
Money, probably.
What game?
Well, Peacock has purchases.
They're doing the other 2, the ones in the afternoon, but they're not doing this one.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
She's talking about the Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, the TV rights thing, who knows how much money, each network pays and stuff, they do what they do. And
So I'm just going to have to listen to it.
Yeah, if
you don't have Peacock.
If you have YouTube TV, you can watch it on the NBC Sports Network. But
although every time I get something that's supposed to be on Peacock, it's also on the NBC Sports Network.
Yeah, right, so you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, so
yeah, and Mediacom doesn't have NBC Sports Network.
Now I'm thinking in my graphic box for who, what, when, and where. I think I mistakenly put Big Ten Network in my. I'll have to change that when I get home because I just am so used to doing that. But I do remember seeing Peacock, and I just so if you're reading anything in Hawkfanatic, the game's on Peacock, not the Big Ten Network.
Yep.
Which I agree with
I'll
Karn.
just have to listen to Gary and Bob.
Yep, there you go.
It's just wild that the Big Ten, the conference's network, isn't covering all the games. Isn't that just?
It is weird.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
And I did see a good baseball game yesterday. It got to be a little cold, but
yeah, it didn't get.
If it had been the day before, it would have been incredibly beautiful.
it would have been wonderful.
Yeah, and
But it was kind of neat because the rain stopped right before the game went. It didn't rain at all during the whole game, and once the game was over, the rain came again.
Yeah.
Well, that was very kind of the weather gods.
The rain, yes. Okay, well, let's root for the guys and hope that they do a great job today.
And while you're at church, please pray for our desperate souls.
All of us need help.
That we do. Well, thanks for the call, Karn. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, so what you mentioned it yesterday. Peacock is making an investment in this because people are going to get the 7-day free trial, so they can watch their teams play. And chances are, not everybody's going to stick around for after 7 days, but some of them will.
Enough of them will to make up for what they paid for rights fees, and then probably several $1 million more. And
now, does the championship stay on the Big Ten Network, or is it on CBS like the women's games?
It's a good question. I don't believe I have that in front. Oh, maybe I do. No, that's the Heartlanders. So. No, I don't have it in front of me. So,
but I know everything. Because like with the women's game, the championship obviously was on CBS, but the rest of the games was on BTN. So,
yeah, that was unfortunate for the women. They've had such a good season, and they played so hard all season, and they just got blown away.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Just.
Do you know, Pat, the championship game, is it on BTN or is it on CBS?
I would assume CBS.
Okay.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're almost always on CBS, even in the old days when it would be Big Ten Network all the way up until CBS.
Yeah.
So, but like Ben said yesterday, let's don't get ahead of ourselves.
Well, yeah. I don't know what to expect, I mean, we've beaten these first two teams. Maryland we've beaten and lost to, beaten Ohio State, and gave Michigan a good game. Yeah,
I don't. I think they can beat Ohio State. I don't see them beating Michigan.
No.
There, I think Michigan. I mean, Iowa took advantage of a great moment. They had the crowd and everything working to its advantage, and Michigan still found a way to win on a night when it didn't play very well. I didn't think.
Yeah, the semis and the final are on CBS this weekend.
All right, good.
But Ohio State, but also Ohio State's going to be much more competitive on a neutral site in Chicago than they were at Carver.
Sure.
So we'll see. But I'd rather play Ohio State than Wisconsin. There's a number of teams I would rather play Ohio State as opposed to Wisconsin. I'm trying to think of who. Michigan State. I'm trying to think of teams that kind of finished. Well, of course, Illinois. I'd much rather play Ohio State than Ohio State. Finished 12-8.
Yeah.
That's incredible that he was able to get 12 wins out of that team. And and Northwestern's actually they're 14-18 now. They've actually kind of finished the season on sort of a little.
So obviously they pounded Penn State last night, or was
I'm not sure if they pounded. They won. I think they ended up winning by 6-8.
Oh, yeah.
Penn State's season just needs to end. I mean, that was what they go was Iowa their third win?
I believe so.
But yeah, there's some Big Ten teams this year that just weren't very good. And
when you have 18 teams, that's for 20 teams, that's going to happen. No, 18.
Yeah, but I was surprised at how many bad teams there were with both the men and women. I mean, there's 4, 5, 6 teams in each league that are just bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Northwestern won by 10.
All right.
Yeah, they just seemed like they were in control for most of the second half. And actually, Northwestern, and they did that without their starting center. Northwestern is playing okay right now. Now, who does Northwestern play? Do they play Indiana again?
They do.
Okay.
6:30.
They won, I believe, in Bloomington. I think Indiana will win this time. But you never know. Maybe he's got... you can see Northwestern, that little freshman point guard, Jake West, is really starting to play well. He's got a young nucleus of players. Singleton. You can see that they knew they were going to kind of take their lumps this year, but I think you can see him building again like he did with that team that made the NCAA tournament. With the point guard, what was his name? I can't remember the point guard. That actually considered coming here.
Scotty Lindsey?
No, not Lindsey.
The
other one. Lindsey was a shooting guard that actually was committed to here for a while.
Was
wasn't
there
he?
a McIntyre?
Yeah, McIntosh. Or
maybe
was it McIntosh? Bryant McIntosh
Yes,
or whatever. But that was a good team, but they took their lumps early too. So if you're a Northwestern, you're hoping that's kind of what's going on now, and you're starting to see a little bit of, the fruits of their labor, because they played better at the end of the season.
And surely Martinelli's finally a senior, isn't he?
He is finally a senior, yeah.
God, he's been there forever.
So the schedule today is Iowa, Maryland, and then after that, what's going on here? It's Northwestern at Penn with Penn State. That's 25 minutes after. The night games are Washington USC. I'm sorry, Washington USC. My screen flipped.
Okay.
And then tonight it's Northwestern against Indiana. That's at 5:30, and then the game after that is Minnesota and Rutgers. So those are the
So there's
four
still
games.
not great matchups.
Not
really.
yet.
No.
Well, we don't know. I mean, like Indiana Northwestern could turn out to be a great game.
It could.
I mean, there's not
the
real
great
good
teams aren't.
No, the
playing
great
yet.
teams aren't playing yet. They get the double and triple buys. That's why. Yeah, that's how tournaments work.
Hello. Hello. Yes.
Okay, whatever. We heard you. You can call back if you like.
Calls have not gone great so far.
Nope, just Karn.
Karen was just kind of focused on her church, so she didn't contribute that much.
Let's try it again. Hello.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that this afternoon the games flip over to the Big Ten Network, and this evening and tomorrow, and then on Friday and Saturday it goes from Big Ten to CBS, or Saturday and Sunday, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So Peacock has 2 today, and that's it then.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, I prefer the games to be on something like CBS so more people can watch it.
And
of course.
And
but
Caitlin Clark starts this afternoon.
she does. Is that 4:00?
Yeah.
time?
Yeah. And that's on True TV, which I think is on most of the services that you have. So
I believe the line was 54.5 is what I saw. Seriously.
no kidding. Really? Against Senegal? You don't think Senegal's got a formidable lineup against Team USA?
They have a 7-8 center, but no, I don't know anything about them, but it's a pretty big line.
Well, it'll be fun to see Caitlin on the court.
It will be, and see how much she plays. I mean, I don't know if she starts or not.
Yeah, who knows?
What channel is it on?
True TV.
Oh, okay.
Or HBO Max.
Okay. Yep. And that's like when we get to the NCAAs, that's when like True TV and some of those really obscure channels get some of the early round games.
And they do. So what else does True TV do when it's not the tournament?
They do that swamp towing thing, and they do a couple of...
they used to have like lizard lick towing.
Lizard lick towing,
but
that's the
that
one.
stuff hasn't been on for years.
Yeah, but
that stuff's been off for maybe almost 10 years.
I've
no
never
idea
watched
what
it,
they do
so
now.
we'll find out, I guess.
But they used to have Operation Repo, lizard lick towing, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
Lizard lick towing. Yikes.
I have no idea what is on the Bar Rescue.
Oh, is Bar Rescue on True TV? Okay.
Yeah,
What
I've
is
never-
bar rescue?
Some guy comes in and cleans up their bar and shows them how they what they're doing wrong.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Isn't that basically it?
Yeah, basically, their business is failing, and he tells them why it's
Yells
failing.
and, yells and screams at them for dramatic effect.
Yes, it's like Gordon Ramsay only on a bar situation.
Like a
do
bar
they have-
restaurant.
Do they have before and after?
Yes.
They do.
Yeah. Yep.
And a big turnaround, no doubt.
Well, they did one in Rock Island. It lasted about 6 months after he left. So sometimes it's just, it just ain't a good location, or it's not a good place. So
Boy, when you got to have that as programming,
yeah, But people watch that stuff.
I guess.
Some of those are I guess good stories, but
I mean, people are obviously watching the 1,000-pound sisters and the 600-pound twins, who it wouldn't be on.
Right.
Well, for sure.
I mean,
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, that stuff is all being watched by people. It is. People love watching other people. It's just so bizarre. I've never understood reality TV.
The one that turned me off for good was Hoarders. That's just so disgusting.
Yeah, I remember watching that a few times. I'm like, I don't need to see this. I feel bad for these people, but who cares? I mean, hope they deal with their problems, but I don't need to see it on TV.
No, not at all.
You see people breaking, basically they're broken, and they're trying to fix them, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, and it's just
well, that's the thing with
sad.
the big fat, the real fat people too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound, unsympathetic, but it's just, you're sitting there like, people actually watch an hour-long show of someone trying to go from like 700 pounds to 300 pounds. And it shows the ups and downs of the ordeal. And I'm just
There's quite a difference between those two.
I know,
numbers.
but why is that interesting to watch?
I don't know. There was when I was in college, I worked at VA as a food service person. And one of the patients was a 650-pound guy. Mm-hmm. And he had 2 beds pushed together, and one bed was for his belly, and the rest of him was on.
My goodness!
So could he move?
No.
And then it was your job to feed him?
No, I didn't have to feed him. I just bought his tray. Hi, Francis. Here's your tray.
What would a typical day of food be? I mean,
I think he ate a lot.
I'm sure he did.
Well, obviously. So, but where? Okay,
and he was on. They limited his calories, but
that's
he
what I was
still
wondering.
got a lot.
Wasn't he under supervision? Wasn't he there because he was getting medical treatment?
He was sick. Yeah, of course.
So I was hoping they probably cut back on his diet.
Well, I think they did, but he still had to have X amount of calories to keep afloat, as it were.
Yeah.
What do they say? A typical 2 to 2,500? Isn't that sort of typical calories for a day?
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
What it's supposed to be. I rarely stay. That's pretty hard to stay under. Can. I mean, think about that. 2,000 calories.
Yeah, I can't remember what his diet was like.
A couple of frappes from McDonald's, you got that covered.
Yeah.
That's an office call.
No, and I mean, today he'd be a show.
Hey,
probably, yeah.
You'd be on there. You'd be the guy going in and dropping his food
650-pound vet.
Yeah, that'd be the show. You'd be one of the You'd be one of the supporting actors. And they'd ask you, so what do you think of, what's his name? What was his name?
Francis.
What do you think of Francis?
I do remember his last name.
What do you think of Francis, Tom?
He's a nice guy. He evidently has a bit of an eating disorder.
Cleans his plate every meal.
Yes, very polite.
Some drill sergeant.
So this was like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing he's probably not alive anymore. Did he ever lose weight? Do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question. He probably lost some. I mean, I don't know if he ever.
I don't know if you can't move. If you can't move, that's got to be really hard, other than surgery, to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, and they typically don't like to have surgery on someone that big either.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's risky. Yeah. So, all right, back to the Hawks.
Anyway, back to the Hawks.
Please.
The 650-pound Hawks.
We do have Stacy Mae Johnson coming on at 10. This will be our first interview with the new Iowa softball coach, and they're deep into their season now, Big Ten play. They finished 1-2 out at Ohio State, and now they're at Illinois again.
Yes.
It's interesting that they play. I see what she says about back-to-back series on the road. Hey, welcome to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Usually they have them kind of go back and forth, but, I mean, they'll get a couple back-to-back this year. They usually do a good job of kind of balancing the travel and what have you. But, no, it's interesting. Beth chose to go with a player from the Gail Blevins era, and I don't blame her. I mean, Stacy obviously knows she was part of Iowa. I'm not saying it was a dynasty, but they were a really good program.
Yeah, comparatively,
for 20
it was a
years.
dynasty.
It was really good. So Stacy knows as a player what it took to get there. Now, she'll also tell us today that the game has changed a lot, and I'll let her explain that to her or to us. I mean, the game's a lot different than it was even 20 years ago.
Well, that catcher we talked to mentioned that she's the only reason she was here is because of Stacy. Stacy went out and recruited her and said, I need you to be a part of this team.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll be interesting to see what Stacy says when we. Obviously, they're not where they need to be. You're not going to just in year one, especially as late as that all that stuff happened. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how she kind of describes where they are and where they need to be. I mean, she's not going to. Obviously, they have I mean, who knows? Maybe they will. I just don't expect them to be competing for the Big Ten championship in year one. That's a lot to ask for, but maybe she disagrees. Maybe they will. I mean, if they can end up doing that in year one, I'll be like, wow, that's incredible. That's not easy to do, though.
No, it isn't.
I mean, and as good as last year's team was and how they surprised everybody, they didn't compete for the Big Ten title. I mean, the fact that they were above 500 in some ways was an accomplishment because, I mean,
it's a major upheaval there.
Softball's had, I mean, yeah, and there was a long stretch there where softball was it was bad before Renee Gillespie came here. And, you almost forget about Renee. This program's been through a lot over the last year. Really so Stacy, to me, is kind of a sign of stability. So, yeah, we'll have her on at 10. And because we didn't have a chance to talk to her when she first got hired because there was other stuff going on.
Kind of chaotic.
Well, yeah, football was getting started, and she was busy moving and what have you. But, no, we'll have her on today and look forward to talking to her. And I'm going to get the new soccer coach on at some point here in the next few weeks, too, hopefully. Because, I keep forgetting, Dave Diani's gone.
Yeah.
He went back.
Michigan?
He's from there, family connections there, and he said it was a personal move. And, I mean, Michigan soccer with a good coach is going to be good.
Sure
I mean, Michigan has everything Iowa has as far as all that stuff, and that just happens to be where he is. But he did a lot of good for Iowa. And he was a good radio.
Heck of a coach.
Heck of a coach, and that's why Michigan went after him. And he was a good interview, too. He was good on the radio.
He was.
So hopefully the program will sustain. Is the new coach, is it Drew Ward?
I believe so.
I believe that's his name. Yesterday I called it Burt Ward. Isn't that Batman?
That was Robin.
Robin. That's what Tommy reminded me of. That was Robin.
I think it's Drew Ward, yeah.
And I'm trying to get somebody who can gain access to our dashboard to change that TV listing, but I can't get anyone to respond on the phone or text message. Two different people. So hopefully I'll get somebody because I can't do it from here. Yeah, I don't know why I just got lazy and I just made the assumption. Then I even realized later I was told that it was on Peacock, and then I forgot to change the graphic. It's way at the bottom of the article, so maybe people won't. Maybe they'll be so bored with the article they won't get that far down. No, what I wrote about was interesting. As Ben was talking about, what he's saying is, in the losses to Penn State and Maryland, they were at 97%, and he's saying with their talent. He goes, I'm not shortchanging our talent. I'm just being realistic. With our talent, we got to be at 100%, or we're not just going to trot into any arena and beat people based on our rim protection and our offensive prowess. No. We have to be at 100% locked and focused. And so what I wrote was that 97 and 100% doesn't seem like much of a difference.
Like much,
but with Iowa men's basketball, it is, according to the head coach. So I take him at his word, and hopefully today they're at 100%. I like I said, I just will be really surprised if they don't win today.
Yeah.
And a little disappointed.
A little disappointed.
Because I just think they're better than Maryland.
Side note, it's Dean Ward.
Dean Ward. Okay, I was close. Dean Ward. Yes, and he's taken over a program that's been really good for a long time, and obviously he's had success. I was reading his resume. It's impressive. Now, you would think that Iowa, in the position they're in now, as a Big Ten,
could attract somebody pretty good.
And it did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was interesting. And, I mean, the Dave Diani, I didn't even realize that Michigan needed a new coach. But when I saw that, I'm like, he's leaving. Then I saw that it was Michigan. I remember that's where his connection, that's where the family connection is. And, again, Michigan is a good athletic program.
And they got great resources.
How about America? How about us losing to Italy?
Yeah.
What the hell? We lost to Italy in baseball. I didn't realize Italy even played baseball.
Tommy said a couple of the White Sox players are on the Italy team, and so he wasn't.
And they still lost?
And they still lost.
With the miserable White Sox players on there? I'm just kidding, Tommy. Didn't the guy who struck out Judge, isn't he like an electrician?
Yeah. He's
a full-time electrician. He struck out Aaron Judge to win the game.
Come on.
We got beat 8-6.
Yeah. So now they've got to root for Italy in the backside of the tournament. I don't know how that all works.
Now, if Caitlin loses to Senegal today, then something's going on.
If they do, yeah, that would be the all-time upset in the history of sports, and it would. I think I saw a 54.5 spread.
That's crazy.
Do you realize if that was the case, then Iowa would have covered against UCLA?
Yes.
51. I asked him how long. I'm surprised you lasted 2.5 quarters. I figured at halftime you'd be pissed off and let's go out for a cocktail.
You know,
you're in Arizona.
We were getting ready to drive from Tucson to Phoenix, so as soon as the game was over, we were going to go. And our host said midway through the third quarter, or not midway, just before the start of the third quarter, saying, so what point spread and at what point do you pull up stakes and say, yeah, I'm not doing this? I said, we're close. And then the first minute.
How long does it take to get from Tucson to Phoenix? I've done it before. I just don't remember.
It was about a little less than 2 hours.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Depending on how many accidents.
Okay.
And
yeah, and somebody asked me, they're like, I didn't watch the game. Did UCLA just run? It didn't feel like they were running up the.
They were just that much better.
They were just playing. And what's funny is they took that one girl launched that really bad three and was laughing about it, and I'm sitting there saying, well, they're up by 39. It doesn't really matter.
No.
I never got the impression that they were trying to make a statement to Iowa. I just thought from the very beginning Iowa was just so intimidated.
That's what it looked like, and it looked like we played like that. When Stram hit that first three, and just about the only three,
they led for a minute and a half.
I said, hey, maybe we're going to be able to play with these guys, and we did for a minute and a half.
Well, UCLA took its lead with a minute at 4-3 and never trailed again. That was they won the first quarter 22-5, but they won the fourth quarter 29-9.
They were just.
But I think Lauren Betts intimidated them.
Yeah, very much so.
Geez, yeah.
But it wasn't just her. They're bigger, faster,
well,
stronger.
Her sister would start on probably every other team in America,
course.
maybe besides Iowa.
Absolutely.
Her sister is really good too, and she's actually, to me, she seemed a little more mobile than Lauren.
She does, and they're big, they're fast, they're strong,
and when they make threes, they're almost impossible to beat unless you're UConn. And the thing that I was disappointed with, though, besides the intimidation factor, because Iowa shouldn't be intimidated. They're good, too.
No.
But Iowa, they let so many wide-open threes.
And they did.
Especially from the side.
We were just awful. And Corey Close said something after the game. She said,
we still got a lot of work to do.
we're still not there.
Yeah, that was the quote I used.
That's where I probably thought.
She's like, obviously we did a lot of good today, but we're still not there. And that's what every coach says. I'm sure she did not expect to win by 51 points. I mean, if I'm Jan, I'm just disappointed. You're not disappointed in any particular player. It wasn't effort. This was more they just kind of caved. Wouldn't you agree?
They
collapsed and just let UCLA intimidate them, and they shouldn't. They're above that. They shouldn't have that happen.
They, in that game, were better at every position. They were stronger, deeper.
Yeah, that Kiki Rice is good.
She's real good.
I mean, Iowa's transition defense, and this is what Kylie Feuerbach talked about after the game. Iowa's transition defense was horrible.
It was terrible.
I mean, it was just, I'm like, girls, you got to get back. You got to, and you could just see where UCLA's play was developing. Okay, they got the two girls running on the wing. Only one really keeping up with them is Feuerbach, and boom, 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 layup. Or boom, boom, wide open three.
Well, you're in trouble when your two seniors don't score. Doesn't help.
Yeah, what was interesting about Stokey, she made the all-tournament team, and yet
it was over 4.
She didn't score in 3 of the 6 halves she played in.
Yeah.
But she's the least of their problems. Now, I will say, when she doesn't score, she's got to get them. She's got to get them, I think, every game 10 to 14 points. She's going to get the 6 to 12 rebounds, a few steals, and she's going to play really good post deep. Yep. But when she doesn't score, they just don't have enough to make up for it. And Strem's right now turning out to maybe be their second best player right now. I will say, what's interesting about her three-point shooting, there's times where she makes just beautiful shots, but when she misses, she misses. Next time we have her on, because I'm hoping she becomes kind of our Iowa PR person for the basketball team. Because, I mean, there's times where her threes don't even hit the rim, but then there's others like it barely hits the net.
It also doesn't hit the rim.
Yeah. I mean, she's really up and down there. And, but, yeah, it was just they got to get that out of their system. But the thing hanging over Iowa right now, Tom, is they've had 3 games against the big ones.
Elite teams.
And they've been blown out in all
yes,
3. Not even close. 24, 23, and
51.
51. You have to laugh at it, even though it hurts.
That's just incredible.
When I'm watching it, I'm like, this thing just needs to end. Just end. Please, just end. And I'm sure you think Jan was probably saying the same thing. I mean, if you're Jan, what do you do? There's only so much a coach can do.
I don't know.
Could you imagine if that would have been Alford in that type of situation?
Oh, he'd still be throwing people under the
God,
bus.
I mean, yeah, it was.
There'd be a pile of bodies underneath the bus.
Well, and I mean, Ava had 15, but she didn't play very well.
And
I thought she
Addie
was.
Deal had 11.
And it was not a good 11 because
No.
she had a lot of turnovers, and sometimes Addie's kind of careless with the ball. Would you agree?
Yes, she's her handles need some work for sure.
Well, she plays a lot like Caitlin, or tries to, but right now it's not there yet. And Caitlin was turnover heavy, but Caitlin, you'd maybe.
But Caitlin scored 30 points a game.
Yeah, I was going to say
3.
you would accept 5 or 6 turnovers along with 41 points and 14 assists. Yeah, I mean, with Caitlin, you had to take a little bad to get the incredible. Mm-hmm. Addie's not there yet, and I just think one of the things she's got to work on. First, she's got to work on her 3. I think if her 3 would start to become more consistent, that would help her, because look what it's done for Chit Chat.
And we really need that, too.
Yeah.
When Addie Deal, those few games that she was in, in the team,
they won all those
making
games.
some shots, we won them all pretty
impressively,
easily.
yes.
Yeah,
and what did Caitlin have surrounding her? Great 3-point shooters.
Yes, she did.
I mean, Kate, by the time she was done, was a great 3-point shooter, and Gabby was throughout her. They spread the floor.
McKenna Warnock
could make threes. So right now, I mean, Chit Chat's shooting 45% from 3. She's doing her part. And Stremlo is getting better. But what's so good about Taylor, she does so many other things. The steals, the assists. She's really developed into a really dynamic guard. She's just got a little more consistent as a shooter.
Sure didn't expect to see her grow like this.
No,
like
I didn't think she would be. When they first got here, I thought Mulaney was going to be.
I did too.
Better.
Well, that exhibition
game. Now, in fairness to Tegan, she's dealt with injuries and she had tonsillitis. She's had a really rough sophomore season where Taylor has stayed healthy. But no, Taylor's really developing. She just needs to become more consistent as a perimeter shooter. Now, there are sometimes, what I like about her, though, is she's unconscious. She'll just,
she is.
Right, I missed that by 5 feet. Who cares? Next one's going in, and lots of times it does.
A miss is a miss, right?
Well, she had one where the other day she overshot the basket by about
it was
4
crazy. It was crazy.
She did.
And there was a couple times where Caitlin had air balls, but that was because she was shooting from 40 feet with triple team as the clock was running out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was tough. I never dreamed it would get that bad.
No, I did not expect us to win. I told the gentleman that we were staying with, I said, my guess is the line will be somewhere around 11, and it was 11 and a half.
I had them losing by 8 to 12 points.
Yeah.
That was what I said going in. I thought they'd lose, but I didn't ever think it would be
It
where
was closer to 80 than it was to 8.
What was it, 96 to 45?
I think so.
It was
51 points.
96 to 45. And then, of course, the men's game at Nebraska. Give them credit. They could have wilted when they were down by 10 late, but they didn't.
No.
Cale Combs was incredible. And what Cale Combs did at the end shows me that there is hope for next year.
There is. And
he needs help in backcourt.
We got to our motel in time to watch. I saw us down by 10, and I said, well, let's see what happens. And got it to overtime and then didn't fire.
Well, Nebraska almost peed that down their leg because their defense, they just let Cale Combs dribble the length of the court. I think they thought the game was over, that the clock was going to wind down before Iowa had time, but he just kept coming. Then he made that 3. But when I was watching, I'm like, no, he definitely needs help. They need a ready season point guard to play with.
Absolutely.
But Cale Combs can play lead guard if he has to.
And he was it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Watch him take
and
charge
he is
like
6'4". He's a legitimate 6'4". He can defend. I think, and people are like, well, he's inconsistent. Well, part of the reason he's inconsistent is they rely so heavily on Bennett.
Yeah.
But I think when Bennett's not there next year, I think Cale will take it upon himself, assuming he's here. You have to assume that with every player these days.
Yep.
But I was encouraged by that. That showed. He's had a couple games like that this year, but he was really impressive. Now, I was impressed with the way I thought Iowa was going to win in overtime. I thought Nebraska was so deflated, but I give them credit. They came out and outscored them 9-0 to end the overtime, and they earned that win.
They did. It was too bad. I was hoping that we were going to pull it off, but no.
Yeah, right now I see Iowa hanging on as a 9 seed right now, and my guess is to get off the 8-9, they would probably have to win 2 games. Maybe three to get off that 8-9 seed, because you're obviously not going to make any ground beating Maryland. And Ohio State, I mean, the last I saw Ohio State, they were 11 seed or a 10 seed.
So if we win 3 games, we still have to win 2 more games, don't we? Or is it just one?
I thought it would.
Because wouldn't the Michigan game be the quarterfinals?
We'll just go each day. Wednesday you win, Thursday you win, Friday you win. Saturday the championship's Sunday, right?
Yeah, so it's 5.
Yeah, well, that's what you have when you have 18 teams playing.
So the teams that played yesterday would have to win 6 games to win the tournament. That's a tall order. 6 games in 6
And you saw
days.
that Siena. How about Riley Mulvey and Siena? I'm happy for Riley. And
I see that.
My prediction is that Jerry McNamara will now be the next Syracuse head coach. He's going to cash in on this success at Siena, and I'm not knocking it. That's how the process works. If they offer him that, he's done a hell of a job at Siena. Now, there may be some other more experienced coaches that want that job. The Syracuse job is still a good job, even though they've really fallen on hard times since Boeheim left. But it'll be interesting, though. That's what happens, though. He's got that team in the tournament, and lots of these coaches cash in on these NCAA tournament runs. They're so publicized. But no, that's neat seeing that happen for Riley. And Riley's playing a huge role. He's their starting center. He had 9 rebounds. I mean, he is really a key piece for them.
I always kind of felt he should have played more. But, I mean, obviously there were some holes in his game, or else he would have played
offensively holes. And I think that kept him out of significant minutes because offense was the main emphasis with Fran.
Yeah.
I think what Riley's doing with Siena is obviously way more defensive-minded. But I'm just happy for the kid that he's getting some success at the end. He stuck it out here for 4 years at Iowa, got his degree, and he was a great kid. Great kid to interview. Really nice kid.
Yep, and, I'm glad he's getting some success, and he's at the level he probably should have been at.
And he's home.
Yeah.
He's from out there. I mean, and Siena's in the tournament for the first time in 16 years when Fran took them to 3 straight, and Fran used that success for the Iowa job. That's just how the business works.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see because Syracuse it was just announced that Adrian Autry's not going to return as a Syracuse coach, so they're going to be looking.
All right, should we take our break?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, we'll be right back.
Listen to Hawkfanatic on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Your life is always changing, and a lot of things can affect how and what you save. So a good retirement plan changes with your life. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. So start a conversation today. Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far. For information locally, call 338-3799 or 866-217-2369 or stop by 501 12th Avenue, Suite 201, Coralville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC.
Once upon a time, in the land of the Hawkeyes, a business grew. A business that would become synonymous with real estate. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson of Hawkeye Title and Settlement. When you're buying or selling your home, you'll need title and settlement services. Consider the Hawkeye Title and Settlement team. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. And it works. Deer divots and dings do damage, but Premier Auto will do right by you. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Do yourself a favor. When your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier. The deer don't like Premier, but you will. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Hit a deer? Call Premier.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number, 1-800-800-ROSE, your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember.
Hi, I'm Jim Street, owner of Streets Maintenance. As a licensed, insured, and bonded master plumber, I specialize in all plumbing repairs, including but not limited to water heater and sump pumps to toilet and faucet repairs and replacements. As an Iowa City native, I know how frustrating it can be when any part of your plumbing system breaks down. That's why I only use trusted brands and quality materials. I offer same-day, next-day service coupled with a fair price. I also offer general services to mobile homes. For more information about my business, I'm online at streetsmaintenance.com and Facebook, or give me a call at 400-4483, 400-4483.
Streets Maintenance, honest plumbing at a fair price.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Your favorite place to eat in the Amana Colonies can be your favorite place to work. The Oxyokin's nearly 90-year reputation for quality extends beyond our food and service. We think the working environment, training, wages, benefits, work schedule, no late hours, close at 8 p.m., and our Ox family are the best of any independently owned and operated restaurant in the area. Come meet the team. Apply for cook, baker, food server, or bartender, and have lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch on us. Is it worth the short drive? I guarantee it. We are searching for the best, and that means you. Apply today, in person or online at oxyokin.com. Oxyokin, an Amana Colonies tradition since 1940 in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyokin.
You've worked hard to build your business, long hours choosing an ideal location and finding just the right employees to empower your mission. Whether you're running a retail shop, corporate office, bar, or warehouse, you also need the tools to make everything run just so. If you're looking for a partner to meet your operational needs and budget, look no further than Big Dog Tech Solutions. At Big Dog Tech Solutions, they partner with businesses all across the area to deliver high-speed bulk internet packages, commercial TV programming, and custom camera installations designed to protect your assets and improve efficiency. Plus, they offer Alumalights permanent outdoor lighting that can be customized to make your business stand out. With over 25 years of experience, their licensed and insured technicians offer unmatched service and expert support to any job. Upgrade your business with the tools you need. Go to BigDogTEK.net or call them today for a free estimate at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We have a few scattered showers this morning, and we may even see a few snowflakes wiggling their way in there at some point before things wind down. It'll stay cloudy through about midday with gradual clearing into the afternoon. High today, 45 with wind northwest gusting to 30 today. Tonight, clear 27. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning, then becoming cloudy 53 with more rain, maybe a little snow mixing in again tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Current temp now 37.
Once again, a reminder that we'll be going off the air. Our air signal will cease after this show because we're going to do some transmitter repair, and then we'll stay on with the stream. So if you're access to a computer or your app or whatever, we'll still
Which
be
is
on.
everybody.
Yeah, so you'll be able to listen to us. Molly will be on shortly after Hawkfanatic, and when we get everything fixed up as best we can, we'll turn it back on again. See what happens.
Well, hopefully it'll be just fine.
Yes. So we're back for our second portion of Hawkfanatic here on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Feel free to call us if you have a comment or a question. Area code 319-358-1630.
I talked to Adam. He's just too busy this week. He said he's swamped with meetings, and then he's on spring break out of town next week, so we probably won't have him on. He was thinking maybe the 25th, which I think is 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm not going to expect him to call in when he's on spring break with his family.
No.
But no, he just said this week he is just swamped. So by the 25th, the season may be over. So we may be doing a recap by then. It very well could be over for both teams by the 25th.
Yeah.
And a lot's going to happen here in the next 2 weeks.
Well, certainly, unless there is a divine intervention, the women will be hosting 2 games.
Yeah, I don't see how they're not.
No, they're.
I mean, okay, they were going to be a 2 seed, maybe, but maybe now they slipped to a 3 after But I don't even think that's going to happen.
No,
they're going to host, and I look forward to covering that. I'm going to Mike Collas and I will both be covering that for Hawkfanatic, and may even use some help from John Bonenkamp. He's over in Chicago today covering today's game for us, and God, the game starts in a little more than an hour.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this is better. What's the last game today? I remember covering a tournament a couple times when Iowa played the 8 every.
Yes.
Every.
Yes.
And then the worst part of that is like what McCollum says, is just waiting throughout the day to get there.
Well, they're figuring like 8 o'clock.
That's when the last game is?
So 5:30 is the first evening game, and then the second one is 25 minutes after that.
It makes you wonder why they couldn't set it up to where maybe you have, okay, this team's playing at 11 this day, but if they win, they'll play it. I
don't know.
Is it that complicated?
I guess.
But I love
Maryland plays last night, and then they have to play first thing in the morning almost.
Well, I guess then don't be a first day team.
Exactly.
More games. I guess that's a good answer for that. But I don't think that's going to affect. I mean, it may help. They're more connected right now because they've been playing. I'm sure Iowa had a practice yesterday where they worked pretty hard and what have you. So we'll see. I just think Iowa's a better team, and they showed that. I mean, they beat them so convincingly in Iowa City. I'm thinking maybe that kind of effort is going to come out, but I'm really interested to see how the guard play plays out, because that's where this game's going to be won, because Maryland's guards are good, but
they are.
I mean, Iowa's best player is a guard.
I
don't think Bennett is going to. I think Bennett is going to leave here playing at a high level. I just sense that. He's one of these guys. The reason he only scored 11, Nebraska went out of their way to take him out of the game, yet he still had 11 points.
And we still put it to overtime.
And he only took 10 shots, but the fact that Nebraska did that allowed Cale Combs to score 18.
Yeah.
They were willing to give up that because they were not going to let Bennett take that game over. And ultimately, that strategy worked barely. I mean, Nebraska was lucky to win that game.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
So, but yeah, it's going to be. This is a fun time of year. This is probably my favorite part of the NCAA tournament is usually the first two. I mean, there are some bad games, but by the time you get to the segment, for me, I start to wear out a little bit. You know, I love the conference tournaments too. I think they have way too much say in who gets in the tournament. I think they have made the regular season seem not near as important. And I agree with Ben. The regular season championship is harder than anything, and I think that gets lost in all this NCAA tournament hysteria and what have you. But like the poor team that who was the team that lost to Merrimack? They finished, I think, in their conference 15-3, and they lose to Siena. They're done. I mean, they're not going to get in.
Yeah.
And then the fact that there was a debate about that Miami of Ohio team at 31-0. Well, they over Auburn. I mean, I don't care if Auburn has more quad one wins, and I love Matt Gatens. Don't get me wrong, but Auburn doesn't deserve to be in over Miami.
If
Ohio.
you go 31-0, you should be in the GD tournament.
Yes, I don't care what your quad ones and all that crap is. Teams like that deserve to be in for what they've accomplished, and you like to have a little variety. I mean, I get the argument. Oh, I'd rather see two really good power fours fighting it out than not. I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. If a team's lost, 13 games.
Auburn's 16-15.
15.
And Pearl,
they shouldn't be in.
I agree. I just don't think they should be in, especially when there's a team 31-0.
Yeah.
Now, do I like the way the Miami Ohio players handled their last game at Ohio? No, they should have probably tried to rise above that. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
But I'm sure those Ohio students were just, what do you think they were saying throughout that game? I'm sure, but still, you would like to think they'd rise above it, but they couldn't help themselves. It was not a good look.
But man, 31-0, that is.
And they score. I mean, they win. I mean, they give up like 100 points and still win.
Sounds like those Loyola Marymount teams.
Sort of like, sounds like Fran's teams in some way.
Yeah.
Loyola Marymount.
Marymount,
with Hank Gathers and Bo
Yeah,
Kimball.
Merrimack was the
team that just
ironclad ship in the Civil War.
Yes. It's also the school that just lost to Siena in the semifinals after winning the conference.
Here's an interesting statistics. Americans are expected to legally wager about $3.1 billion on the NCAA men's and women's tournaments combined.
That's a lot of cash.
That's up from about 2.7.
And that's why they're building buildings in Las Vegas instead of tearing them down, right?
Yeah, you got it.
That's how it works.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Do you ever do
$3.1 billion?
When was the last time you did a bracket?
Oh, I do one online every year just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other reason, just for fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done one for years. I used to do one at the Press Citizen every once in a while if I think about it. I never really got into it that much.
Yeah, some people, they live for it, man. They just think it's the greatest thing ever. And, and this is legally. This isn't office pools and all the other stuff that, people do.
Now, we used to be in office pools, or in my mother-in-law ran a pool down in Florida for her
retirement home.
No, for the University of South Florida.
Oh, really?
In her department, and we'd always get in that.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was always fun. But then, after she retired, I haven't really been in any of those. But they are kind of fun.
Well, of course, because you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be lucky. People that are way knowledgeable about this, there nobody ever seems to get their brackets perfect.
No.
I mean, there's just no way you can predict what's going to happen.
Don't they offer like $10 million for a perfect bracket?
I think, wasn't it Warren Buffett? Wasn't he the one that offered like $1 million at one point?
I think so, yeah. And nobody comes close.
Hello, KCJJ.
Hey, Stacey May Johnson, head softball coach.
Well, good morning, Stacey May Johnson, softball coach. Tom Suter along with Pat Harty here. The first thing I want to ask is, we looked at the schedule when we were talking to one of your players earlier this season, And looking at your schedule, the first 27 games that you play are away from Iowa City. And you've gotten 23 of them done.
You're fascinated by that, aren't
I'm
you?
completely fascinated by that. And, of course, you have to do it that way, I guess, to get the number of games in. But you've done pretty well. Are you pretty satisfied with how well you've done so far?
Well, we've done some really good things, and so, obviously credit to our team for those things, but we've also left some games on the table, too. And so, you add 2-3 wins to that total, and then, you can say, hey, this is a really good team, but right now I would tell you we're a pretty good team. And so there's things to improve on, and, we certainly have the schedule in front of us, some top contenders in the Big Ten, and you come away with those wins, and then, wow, now you got something really special. So we've done some good things, and I'd say we're close, but we just got to keep getting better.
I know, Stacy, at Media Day, you talked about how the game has changed since you played for Gale here at Iowa. Can you kind of explain to our listeners what you mean by that, how softball has changed? Because, I mean, it's been about 20 years, but you said it's just a different game now, and that affects how you kind of rebuild this program.
Yeah, for sure. And it was funny. I ran into an alumni at the airport, and we were reminiscing on Sunday about how one of our seasons we played on a team with 14 student athletes on it.
Holy
and
cow.
now it's like 25 is the number. And a big part of that is back then we had 2 pitchers, and they were always healthy, and they threw a lot of innings. And now clearly that's not going to work anymore. We've got a staff of 5 now, and probably projects to be 6 or more in the future. And so I think the big thing is just the quality of the offenses. The athletes are bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, and so pitchers can't just throw 7 innings anymore because the offenses are so sophisticated. And then the next piece of that is that it puts an extra layer of pressure on the defense, and so you have to be good defensively all over the field because the ball's going to find everybody. So just the progression of the game, it's been so good, and the progression of women's athletics, and to see the quality of the training that these young women get from, the age of, 12, 14, all the way through high school. They just come in at a better spot, and it's just, I think it's awesome, and it's so fun to be a part of it and to be a part of women's athletics in this day and age.
So have the hitters progressed more than the pitchers over the last 20 years? And I'm not knocking the pitchers, but is that what has happened?
Well, I don't know about more because I'll give you another example. Both have progressed, pitching and hitting. I don't know about more because, anymore you turn on a softball game and they've got the radar up. Everybody's got somebody throwing 70.
You're right.
They do.
You're right.
And that was like unheard of. There was maybe one pitcher in the game that could touch 70, maybe. And now everybody's got somebody. So I don't want to say that the offenses have progressed more because the pitching has as well.
Okay.
But I think the strike zones are a little bit smaller. I'll say that. It's not as wide on the corner. You used to watch the World Series and you'd see pitches in the other box get called. You don't see that anymore.
Okay.
So I just think the game in its entirety has progressed.
So, Stacy, how much has analytics changed the game?
A lot. Film and analytics, the availability of that information to know, you know how to hit the pitcher before the game's even started, even if you've never seen them in person. So you've already watched the film, but you have the numbers on it as well, which kind of backs the film up. And you have an idea of, essentially from a hitting perspective, what pitches should we be cheating towards before the game even starts. And so, there would be a trip or two through the lineup in years past where you could kind of sneak by without having, a full understanding of what to do with the pitcher. Okay, by the 3rd trip, we understand how to hit him. Not anymore. The first batter now knows how to hit him.
So by the other side of the coin, doesn't the pitchers also know how better to pitch to the hitters? So
yes, absolutely.
So, Stacy, when you got here, obviously this program went through a lot in the previous year on and off the field. How much did you have to, I don't know what the right word is, I mean, not a reboot, but you kept some of those players, but what was it like to get here? It wasn't just a typical coaching change. This was a little different. How much did you have to kind of, work through a lot of the stuff that happened? Was it a big factor?
Well, that's a great question. It wasn't typical. and honestly, this one was almost a little bit easier, and I'll get into that. I'll explain that a little bit. I think that because there had been so much that had happened here, they were hungry for change, which isn't always the case.
Okay.
They were hungry for structure. They were hungry for somebody new. They were hungry for a firm and solid leader to say, hey, this is the direction we're going, and they were eager to jump on board with that. There was no hesitancy with that. And so I think it made for, obviously, a very fun transition for me and for our staff to have a group of student athletes that just really wanted to get on a ship moving in one direction. And so, from a sense, we always keep in mind where they've come from and what their background is. Obviously, that's always a wise plan when you're a coach. But quite honestly, I think that it's been such a fresh start that we haven't really had to dig too deep into the weeds.
Okay. Now, you played, obviously, for Gail Blevins, one of my favorite coaches at Iowa of all time. I mean, she was great in her time here. I know the game has changed a lot since Gail last coached, but are there a couple things that maybe that you take from what Gail did every day as a coach? Because what I remember about Gail was just everything was so consistent. Everything was so structured and planned. I mean, her post-game interviews were always the same. You always knew what to expect. Can you maybe talk a couple things that you learned from Gail that you're using now as a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, her teams were always tough.
Yeah.
They were always consistent. They always played. There was always great pitching, great defense. You talk about consistency. I mean, do those things, right? Be tougher than the other team. Have better pitching, have better defense. Keep the scores low, and you're always in the game. And that was what she did so well on the field. But it wasn't a coincidence that the teams were tough. She obviously prepared us for that.
Yeah.
She always used to tell this story, and I thought it was really a good picture of like how she got this out of her teams. There's a story. This was before I played, but she talked about a game against UCLA, and this was like in UCLA's heyday. Where they had Olympians on the team, and it didn't matter who they played; they were better from a talent perspective, right? So they show up for this game, and the temperatures had dropped on that particular day. Obviously, it wasn't in Iowa City; it was somewhere out west. But the temperatures dropped, and Iowa is out there, in short sleeves and running around having a great time, right? Just loving it. Right? And meanwhile, UCLA's over there in their parkas looking really, really cold and acting like they don't want to be there. And then now they have a real taste of that in the Big Ten. But Iowa goes on to win that game. And I think she was right in pointing that out of, did Iowa win that game that day because they were the better softball team? No, absolutely not. They won that game because they were the tougher softball team. And that story always resonated with us as athletes, and it still sticks with me today, that you may step onto the field some days and not be the better team, but you can always step onto the field and be the tougher team. And so that was something she instilled. That's something that I've taken, and hopefully that's something that we're accomplishing with this team here today.
I mean, you grew up in Reno, Nevada. You were a star high school softball player, obviously. The fact that you picked Iowa, went through the recruiting process, picked Iowa when it was a real good program, how does that help you now as the head coach trying to get high school girls to do the same thing? The fact that you picked this school and everything worked out for you, does that help you recruit now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's an element of recruiting, I suppose, to some degree is salesmanship, right?
Sure.
But for me, I sell it just like everybody else, but it's from deep inside. I want to be a Hawkeye with all my heart, and I want everybody to be a Hawkeye with all their hearts. I don't have to sell it something that's not real. It's real. It's what I've always wanted. It's where I want to be. It's a place that I love, and that will bleed through in the recruiting process, and it creates passion and excitement for the young women that have the opportunity to compete in our program. So, yeah, it's going to help us, absolutely. Do
you remember who you picked, Iowa? Were you down to like 2 or 3 schools? I mean, because obviously you had a lot of schools going after you.
Yeah, my final 3 were Iowa, Stanford, and Michigan. Stanford was a little bit of like an academic process, and it ended up falling through on the academic side with Stanford. But and then so the final 2 were Iowa and Michigan, and Michigan was a World Series team. Iowa was a World Series team. I think what really appealed to me was there was something grittier about Iowa. Michigan was a very, very good team, and they had very, very good athletes coming in, but there was just something underneath the surface about Iowa. And I think that UCLA story is maybe what I felt, that sometimes Iowa showed up and won the game because they were just tougher, and there was something about that appealed to me.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
I can see that.
Tom, you probably love hearing that as a lifelong.
Boy, I sure do.
And again, from Reno, but when media day, the first thing I remember you saying to us was, we got to lock down this state recruiting-wise. We got to make these girls know that they are priority. Talk about the importance of in-state recruiting, because all the Iowa coaches say that. I mean, how important it is, and your thoughts on just the level of Iowa high school softball right now.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so that was another thing I learned from Gail, and she wrote the book on it. She obviously competed at the highest level with a very, very predominant Iowa roster.
Yeah.
Of course, she's picked her spots out of state, as do we. But I think that's how it should be done. I mean, that's how Coach Ferentz does it. That's how Coach Heller does it. There's a really nice recipe sitting right in front of us. That's what we want to do, and it works. It works. You can win that way. Where is the state of Iowa in softball? Man, you're seeing athletes from the state of Iowa as the best player on their team at multiple levels.
Yes.
You know, the top pitcher at Texas is from the state of Iowa. You know, we've got St. Thomas in a couple of weeks. Their top pitcher is from Iowa City, Iowa.
That's right.
You know, you can go around. I mean, mid-majors, Power Fours, that they've got Iowa athletes competing at the highest level. To me, what is so intriguing about this state is the athletes that play. They don't play club in the summer. They play high school in the summer. There's upside there. There's untapped upside. They're typically multi-sport athletes that have never honed in on softball as their number one sport that they compete at year-round. And so then they get better, and they get better faster than other people, and they have a broader and more diverse athletic skill set. And I think that is what has made all these programs so successful. Now, the ones that do play club, obviously, you know, they're going to be probably closer to their ceiling, but still very good, and they're competing as well. But I just think there's a really, really interesting piece. You've got to be a developmental staff. You have to have developmental coaches willing to take these athletes that are potentially more athletic but a little more raw and refine their skill sets. But if you can do that, then you can have a lot of success winning, where instead of the best player at St. Thomas is now one of the top athletes at the University of Iowa, and that's what we want to get to.
Okay, so you got a big series coming up this weekend in Champaign. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Illinois team you're facing, and also a little bit about what you guys are going to do to take the series?
Well, it's going to be a tough series because it's a Big Ten opponent, and we're on the road. Weather's going to be a factor. You know, there's rain, there's wind, you know, so it could be ugly. It may come down to who is tougher. Do I think we're the better softball team clear in a way? Yes, I do. But I don't anticipate the series is going to be easy. I think all those factors I just mentioned are going to get in there and complicate things. But that's okay. I mean, we're ready for that challenge. You know, we're ready for whatever the Big Ten Conference has to throw at us. We are ready for it. We're certainly at a good place with our team and continuing to improve. Illinois hasn't had the best of seasons. But at the end of the day, it's tough to go on the road and win a series, but that's exactly what we're aiming to do.
What's your thoughts on going on the road twice to open up Big Ten play back-to-back?
We've been on the road. That's what we do. Whatever, you know, come at whatever you got to throw at us. We're ready for it.
All right.
You know, we open up on the road, and that's not going to change until either the weather in Iowa City changes or the season gets moved back. That's the only reason why we get to play home games early in the season. So, you know, we're prepared.
Okay, well, Stacy, we appreciate you coming on. I've been looking forward to have you on for our listeners. Because we've had some people reach out and say they'd love to hear from you. And Iowa softball, I mean, it's big here, and I get a sense that it's going to climb back to where it was. And we do have one last question for you before we let you go. We appreciate your time. Know you're busy. Tom, take it away.
All right. Well, Coach, you look, your cell phone rings, you look down, and the name that pops up on your screen is Beth Getz. And so you pick up the phone, and Beth says, Stacy, I really need your help. Got a little short on the dollars at this point, and we need some big money in here fast. I need you to book a band, a singer, or an act to fill up Kinnick Stadium. Who is Stacey May Johnson going to hire to fill up Kinnick Stadium?
Okay, well, I got one for you.
Okay.
Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett played a show in Las Vegas. We're bringing Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett to Kinnick Stadium.
Well, okay, Lady
Look
Gaga.
at the smile on your face.
Yeah, that's a great answer. The only better answer to me would be Taylor Swift, and that's who Beth gets picked. But almost nobody has picked Gaga or Taylor Swift, which is crazy to me because they're the two biggest out there. But great choice, yes. Get cracking.
I'm glad you guys like it.
Okay, well, Stacey, this was a lot.
Yeah, those two. What a combination, right? We're going to sell it out.
No, I think it would. Hey, thanks a lot. We really appreciate you coming on. Safe travels. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Go Hawks.
Wow.
Go Hawks.
Yeah, she's good.
Impressive interview. You can see why Beth. You can see why Beth gets high. Well, she rebuilt 2 programs. She played here. There's a lot of reasons why.
Why she's a good hire.
Why she was a good hire, but she really stated her vision for this softball program, and it makes sense.
It does.
It does make sense, and so no, that was fun.
Yeah, I like the idea that she wants to be the toughest team out there.
Yeah, and Iowa was with Gail. What I liked about covering Iowa softball, you could get a doubleheader done in like 3 hours. You could be picking up a palletized pizza by 7 o'clock.
Well, and back during Gail's reign, we carried softball.
Yeah,
and it was
that place was packed.
Fun. Yeah.
And I always chose, because during the summer, obviously I wasn't covering football or men's basketball for the Press Citizens, so I'd get a choice between baseball and softball. Selfishly, I had nothing against baseball back then. I chose softball. They were better, and the games were. I mean, a baseball doubleheader could take 8 hours. Softball would take 3.5.
Yeah,
you'd win 2-1.
You did some high school doubleheaders that you were out there forever.
Oh my
back
God,
in the day.
my eyes were spinning in my head by the time I was.
Well, you guys know my thoughts on high school baseball doubleheaders. They're not, and they don't do as many of them anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I just have never doubleheaders. I've never.
It works for softball because the game moves so much faster.
But I remember in high school we'd play a lot of doubleheaders, and of course all I did was pitch. So there was a lot of doubleheaders where I did a lot of festering on the bench if it wasn't my chance. If it wasn't my rotation, we had a 3-man rotation for the 2 years I pitched on varsity, and if I wasn't pitching, I was sitting picking splinters. And there were some doubleheaders where I knew I wasn't going to play at all. So in between innings, you had, and it was boring.
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe that's what turned me against. But I wasn't a very good fielder, and I wasn't a very good hitter.
So all you did was pitch.
All I did was pitch. And every once in a while I run bases. I was pretty fast, but I couldn't field. I had no depth perception. The last person you wanted catching pop flies in the outfield was me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be spinning around out there. But, yeah, and he did. Our coach ran it like a professional. I mean, we had a 3-man rotation. The 4th guy is the reliever, and it was just we stuck by that all the time. So, yeah, I just remember going to doubleheaders. Why am I putting my uniform on? I'm not even going to play today unless they need someone to pinch run.
When I pitched in Legion Ball, I was like Iowa, the women's basketball team. I could beat the teams that were equal or below us, but like the elite teams, I would just get shelled. They just pound me.
Yeah, we played Legion Ball, and I remember my sophomore year we played, and we made it all the way to the Nationals in Fenton, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
By the time we got back from that stuff, the football season was already a week. I mean, we missed like the first couple of days of school, and I'm like, man, and that was a sophomore on the varsity. I hardly played. So I spent that whole time, I pitched a little bit, but that was not fun. I just remember getting back in football season. We had missed all of preseason football practice and what have you. But Fenton, Missouri, and we ended up losing. I can't remember. Those games went on forever. But, yeah, you'd play your high school season. Then afterwards you'd play these Play Legion Ball. At least we did that year.
My dad coached Legion Ball. And
is it still around? Is Legion Ball still around?
I don't think so.
I don't hear about it near as much as I used to. But no, I figured Stacey was. I mean, she was impressive at media day. And Tommy was just talking about that too. You remember, she knows. She's got a vision. She's got a plan.
She does.
And the fact that she was here, I think that's a big part of what played into Beth hiring. Beth knows that Stacey knows this culture, and the game has changed a lot since Gail coached. But a lot of the stuff hasn't, and that was the toughness. And I mean, Gail was so disciplined, and so yeah, it's going to be fun because I do think softball, when they're playing Will, that place is packed. I'm not saying it's going to be a big revenue producer, but to me, softball, baseball, and volleyball are three sports that if they have just a little bit of success, fans will embrace that.
Sure.
We were Ann and I went to the Iowa State softball game last year, and it was really fun.
Yeah, that's
and
a great facility.
It is, and it was a good crowd. No, it was
There's
really
plenty
fun.
of parking. I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of traffic down there, but
We had to park at the Kretzmeyer track. It was so busy over by the.
But
the
still
main
a
parking
somewhat
lot.
walkable distance, not a.
Oh
total.
yeah.
But when they're drawn well, that place is packed. And I've heard some people say my only complaint about it is that intersection there. Well, I mean, everything can't just be laid out for you perfectly. There are other people that live in this world. So.
Yeah, it's going to get worse over the years when they start developing that area across the street.
But I'm excited to see what she can do. I mean, Rick has made Iowa baseball pretty solid in the Big Ten now, upper division team pretty consistently, and I think Stacy's going to have the same effect with softball.
Boy, I sure hope so, because it's that place is ready to fill up again.
And Iowa softball, I mean, she was talking about that pitcher from Texas. That pitcher from Texas went to Dowling, my alma mater, but when I did a little research on it, because I'm watching Texas play last year, and they kept talking about this girl from Dowling. I'm like, she never pitched for it. She pitched club. I don't believe she ever pitched for
I don't
Dowling.
think she did.
She never
Right.
played high school softball. She was above that, which to me, I have mixed feelings about that. I'm old-fashioned. I miss the days where, like in my day, you played AAU basketball 2 tournaments a year, one in the summer, one in the winter. Now there's
It's
stuff.
year-round.
It's just year-round, and it's taken away from the high school stuff, and I've got mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, AAU, especially with basketball,
Oh,
it's just crazy.
We do two a year, and now it's nonstop. And you see a lot of kids choosing their club teams over their high school teams, and I get it. Each person has to do what's best for them. I just miss the old days when high school was the way to do most of it.
Yeah.
And what a commitment by the parents with the club baseball and all
Oh,
those
my
club
God,
teams. There's so
yes.
much traveling.
Oh, I know
And
parents.
money.
I know
Yes.
parents. I mean, it's easy to overlook. Like a buddy of mine, his daughter goes to a volleyball thing. That's 3 nights in a hotel. I mean,
Yep.
you're spending $500 to $1,000 on hotel, gas, food, and
Sure.
that's just part of the commitment.
Yep.
Thank God I don't have any kids.
Well, we have the folks living across the street from us. They have 4 kids. They're all involved in athletics, and every single night, during the seasons, they're gone.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And it's just crazy.
Do they give Wapsie treats?
They do give Wapsie treats. In fact, when we were gone, their kids came and played with Wapsie. Wapsie
Aw.
went over to their house.
So
played
no
with
neglect
their
for
dog.
Wapsie. Although she probably missed you. How was she when
Oh,
you
she
guys?
did.
How was she when you guys walked in the house?
Oh, she was ecstatic.
And she knows you're coming before you get in. Doesn't she know?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you completely surprise her?
No, she knew. 100%. She knows the sound of the cars, and
She's still got it pretty good, though, when you're gone. It's not like you're kindling her up for anything.
No.
She's got Molly watching over her in that big old house. She's got the cat there.
a pretty good gig.
Yeah, Wapsie's got a good. She'll be in here Saturday, right?
She will.
And are there still Frosty Paws in there? I better check
There
before
are.
I leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did not eat them yet.
I have not seen Wapsie for a while.
Yeah.
No, she's ready.
So what was the weather like in Arizona?
Anywhere from 72 to 90.
Oh, okay.
That's
70s in Arizona. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it was nice.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it felt great.
Did it rain at all while you were there?
No. We went to one baseball game. Saw the Guardians and the Angels.
What'd that cost you?
$48
A piece?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
The Cubs
Just
tickets,
ridiculous.
Pat, were like $180.
I've already commented on that.
Yeah.
And I know I'm different, but you couldn't pay me to go to a spring training. If somebody paid me $148, I'd go.
Not 148, 48.
48.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd take not 40. I don't think I'd go for 48. I'd go for 148.
I mean, it was fun. It was a nice ballpark.
So did you eat there?
At the ballpark?
Yeah.
All I had was a pretzel.
How much was that?
I don't know.
So not enough to where it stood out to you.
$7 or $8.
Oh, that ain't
probably.
bad. Okay.
I mean, not
the
great.
pretzel at Carver's like $7 or $8,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And as long as you get them hot right out of the thing, they're good.
No, it was the same pricing as Carver.
Did you stay for the whole game?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are a true trooper when it comes to that. No matter how bad they're getting blown out. You stay for all
Well, if
of
you're
it.
going to spend the money,
I agree with you.
Go.
Yeah.
And who was it again? The Guardians versus who?
The Angels.
So two teams you couldn't care less about.
You couldn't possibly care less.
But just wanted to see some baseball. Yeah.
Did you ever just stand up and yell, "Go Cubs," just to get a reaction?
No, but I was kind of surprised at all the Angels fans, but then L.A.'s not that far.
That's true.
It's very drivable.
That's true, yeah. So,
well, people, they make it their vacation for the year. They go down to Arizona or down to Florida and do the spring training.
Well, if I had
thing.
to choose, I'd go to Arizona over Florida for spring training just because I know humidity.
Been down to the Florida once, and it was nice. It's different.
Right. And
enjoyable.
And in March, you're ready for a little warm weather anyway, if you live in Iowa.
But if you had to live in either Arizona or Florida, which one you picking?
Probably, year-round I had to be there. Boy, that's tough.
Yeah, because I know, like in the summer, Arizona's just brutal.
Well, but Florida's almost worse because of the humidity.
Because of the humidity, yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say Arizona probably because you don't have the sea, the ocean issues with that. Not hurricanes.
But you also don't have the beauty of the water.
That's true too.
So it's a
trade-off. Yeah, for sure.
It is. So that's a good question. I certainly would not want to live either place in the summer.
Nor would I.
A girl I went to high school with got a job as a teacher in Phoenix, and the day she moved down there, it was 121 degrees. And I said, I would have turned
but
right
it was
around.
A dry heat.
Yeah. Turned right around and said, no, thank you.
An oven is being in an oven is being in an oven.
Yeah,
so.
But she's been down there for like 30 years now and teaching first graders in Phoenix. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's no danger of us moving down to Arizona anytime
soon. So you
soon.
see yourself staying in Iowa for the...
But probably.
Yeah, I don't...
could I see ourselves being at Lake Havasu for a month sometime?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was neat. It was fun. In January or February,
sure.
Get out of the winter. Yeah, I could see that. But
I think True TV used to do something. They used to have like spring break videos from Lake Havasu. They'd show kids fighting and getting all drunk and fighting on the beach. Because isn't that a big spring break hangout?
I'm not positive about. But I will. The guy that was the architect behind the city and Lake Havasu development and stuff. My God, what a vision he!
Are there homes on the lake?
Oh yeah,
like homes, people that live there year round on the lake.
Oh sure.
Okay,
but I mean the vision he rebuilt the London Bridge on sand, and then built everything around it. Cut the waterway.
So it's a man-made lake.
The Lake Havasu. Oh no, I don't know. He built the waterway between the Colorado River and Lake Havasu.
How big is the lake?
Not huge.
So you can easily see across it. So is it like bigger than Clear Lake? Is it bigger than Okoboji?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
I've only seen it, like I said, on that spring break thing. They've shown guys like on wave runners getting off the beach and then fighting each other all drunk.
But it was fun.
Sounds like it.
And one of my favorite parts was taking the boat, the little shuttle boat, across the lake to the casino for an hour. And that was fun.
Yeah, cool.
And a beautiful, beautiful trip across the lake. It was neat.
Yeah. Well, we are glad you're back.
Thank you.
Tip off in a half an hour.
You can see now it's snowing in your honor as you're back.
It's snowing right now.
Yeah,
it is snowing.
Yeah.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
So what's the temperature?
Well, it's 34, but the wind chill's like 28. So it's,
Well, again, thanks again for
Stacey May Johnson. Yeah.
Fun talking to Stacey. Thanks, Matt Weitzel, for helping to arrange that on very short notice.
Yep.
Because I had somebody reach out to me who's a devoted listener. He wanted me to get he said it's a good story of a girl who's a senior on the rowing team who just happened to walk by one day when the rowing team was advertising for. She joined the team, and the rest is history. The problem is they practice in the morning, and
right,
they just I can't get them. Don't want them, and we're trying to get maybe Ava Hayden next week during spring break. It's all going to depend on practice, because the reason for the people that keep reaching out we can't get Ava on is she's in the middle of class during the time we're on show. And we're not going to have these girls, any of these athletes, miss class to be on the radio.
They miss enough as it is.
Yeah, I mean, especially as much as they travel, but they're going to do whatever they can if practice schedule works out next week to try to get Ava on, because I think you'll really enjoy Ava, and I know she's big into music too. So
good.
That'll be fun if we
All
can
right.
work that out. All right,
She's
everybody.
kind of a hard rock gal, isn't she?
Yes, she is. So yeah,
kind of fun.
And I wonder if it stems from her parents. I mean, she grew up in Portland, near Portland, what have you. So no, Ava would be a fun interview if we can get her on. Yeah, who knows?
All right.
All right. We're got some transmitter work going on. Talk to you soon.
Well, oil that microphone as well before we get back on again. Hawkfanatic, check it out. It's free.
You love our food at the Ox Yoke Inn. How about helping prepare or serve it? If you are dependable for weekly scheduled shifts, we have a position for you. You'll be trained by the best. Apply for cook, baker, food server, or bartender online at oxyokeinn.com or in person. We'll even buy you lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch. Ox Yoke Inn, an Amana College tradition since 1940. Apply today.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. And it works. Deer divots and dings do damage, but Premier